Let's dive right into one of the most popular casino games in America, Blackjack. Now, the rules are pretty simple and the action is fast, but here's the most important thing you need to know. If you play smart, Blackjack offers some of the absolute best odds you can find anywhere in a casino.
I mean, that's really what this game is all about, right? It's you against the dealer, a total one-on-one showdown. So, if you've ever dreamt of walking up to a table and playing with real confidence, well, you've come to the right place.
Okay, first things first. Forget what you think you might know. Your main goal isn't actually to get to 21. Your one and only mission is to beat the dealer. That's it. If your hand is better than theirs at the end, you win. It's that simple.
Of course, 21. That is the magic number. The whole point of the game is to get your hand as close to that number as you possibly can, but, and this is the big one, without going over. If your cards add up to more than 21, you're out of the game for that hand.
So how do you get to 21? Well, the scoring couldn't be easier. The number cards are just worth what they say they are. All the face cards, that's your kings, queens, and jacks, are worth 10. But the real star of the show, the most important card in the whole deck, is the ace. You get to decide if it's a 1 or an 11, and that little bit of flexibility is where all the fun and strategy really kicks in.
Now, what happens if the dealer slides you your first two cards and you get an ace and any 10 value card? Boom! Congratulations. You just hit a natural, also known as a blackjack. This is the best hand you can possibly get. And assuming the dealer doesn't have one too, you get a special bonus payout, usually 1.5 times whatever you bet.
All right, you get the goal, you know how the cards are valued. Let's actually sit down at the table and see how a real hand gets started.
It all starts pretty simply. First, you put your chips down to make your bet. Then, the dealer, who's usually working with a bunch of decks all shuffled together, starts dealing. You're going to get two cards, both of them face up, so everyone can see them. The dealer also gets two cards, but here's the twist. One of their cards is face up, but the other is face down. And that one hidden card, that's where all the suspense comes from. Okay, now we're at the fun part, the real heart of the game. The cards are out, the bets are down, and now it's all on you. It's your turn to act. You've basically got two core choices. You can hit, which just means you want the dealer to give you another card, hopefully to get you closer to 21. Or you can stand, which means you're happy with what you've got and you don't want any more cards. And, in most casinos, you don't even have to say a word. You just tap the table for a hit or give a little wave over your cards to stand. Now, if you decide to hit and the next card pushes your total over 21, you bust. And that's an instant loss. The dealer scoops up your bet right then and there. And here's the kicker. This is the house's biggest advantage. You have to play your hand first, which means you always risk busting before the dealer even has to show you what they have. Remember that superstar card, the ace? Well, when you're using it as an 11, that's what's called a soft hand. So let's say you have an ace and a 6. That's a soft 17. It can be either 7 or 17. This is huge because it means you can hit on that hand with literally zero risk of busting. If a big card comes, the ace just magically switches from being an 11 to a 1. It's like a built-in safety net. Okay, so hitting and standing, that's the bread and butter. But sometimes you get a hand that gives you the chance to make some real power plays, to raise the stakes, and hopefully your winnings. We're going to talk about 3 big ones: splitting pairs, doubling down, and a little side bet that's called insurance. So let's say you get 2 cards at the same value dealt to you, like a pair of 8s. Well, 2 8s add up to 16, which is not a great hand. But the casino gives you this awesome option to split them. You just put down a second bet equal to your first, and the dealer will literally split them into 2 brand new hands. It's a fantastic way to turn one bad hand into 2 potentially great ones. Now, this is your big, high-stakes power move. If your first 2 cards add up to 9, 10, or 11, you are in a really strong position. So the casino will let you double down. You get to double your original bet. But here's the catch. You get 1 and only 1 more card. It's definitely a high-risk, high-reward situation. Okay, now for a word of warning. If you see the dealer's face-up card is an ace, they might have blackjack, so they'll offer everyone at the table insurance. It's basically a side bet that their hidden card is a 10. If you take the bet, and you're right, it pays you 2 to 1. But honestly, the math shows that this is almost always a bad bet for the player. The odds just aren't in your favor. All right, you've made your move. You've hit, you stood, maybe you even doubled down. You're locked in. Now, all eyes turn to the dealer. It's their turn to play. And this is maybe the most important thing to understand about the game. You, the player, you have choices. You have freedom. You get to think, you get to strategize. The dealer, they have none of that. They are basically a robot who is forced to play their hand according to a very strict set of rules. And here are those rules, set in stone. First, the dealer reveals their hidden card. Now, if their hand total is 16 or less, they absolutely must take another card. They have no choice. If their total is 17 or more, they must stand. That's it. No thinking, no clever plays, just those two simple rules every single time. So, why is knowing the dealer's rules so important? Because their play is completely predictable. And because of that, mathematicians have figured out the single best mathematical play for you in every possible situation. This isn't guessing, it's playing the odds, and it's called basic strategy.
Let's look at a super simplified version. Your best move almost always depends on what card the dealer is showing. For example, if the dealer's up card is a 4, 5, or 6, they're in a tough spot. They're more likely to bust. So even if you have a weak hand like a 14, your best move is to stand and let them take the risk. But if they're showing a strong card like a 9 or 10, the pressure is back on you to hit and try to improve your hand.
So there you have it. You know the goal, the values, the moves, and the basic idea behind playing the odds. Following these rules gives you a fighting chance against the house. But it does raise one final, very famous question. What if you could do even better? What if you could actually track the cards as they're played? What about counting cards?